What's up, Cowboy fans? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, with another edition of Coach's Corner, sponsored by the Baird Brothers. First of all, Coach Amill, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you having me again.
All right, let's go back to last week. Youngstown, Ursuline. I remember specifically talking with you. Keys to the game, hold on to the football. Kids are all excited. You get the kick, first play, fumble. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, Chris, at any level, that's a huge momentum burst right off the start. Talk about that game a little bit.
Absolutely, and it started with us in pregame. Our starting running back pregame did something to his leg and wasn't able to play, and put some, the next guy in and ran the wrong play and ran right into our quarterback, and just kind of killed a lot of any momentum before we even got it going. We came out with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and it just kind of killed it right off the bat.
Yeah, let's go to that. I got there, and that's the first thing I noticed. The energy level was off the charts both ways. Talk about that a little bit as a coach with your team. You're excited. Seemed like a good environment. Both teams, I thought, did a great job with the social distancing. Talk about how it was and maybe what was different for the Chaney fans.
I thought the energy and everything was great. It was a lot of excitement before the game. It is just different because, for one, you already lose that high school feel of fans when you play at YSU. But then when you even, just a ticket situation, I think we were able to have 1,500 fans. We got 300 tickets, so even a lot of our fans, aren't going to be there. And then just local fans, so you do lose a lot of that excitement and feel and energy and things like that from the stands. But, it's just something that we're going to have to deal with. Going to Howland, I think we got 100 tickets, for this game. So it's just something I guess we got to get adjusted to and learn how to just play ball and not worry about that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences. With Coach Amill, Coach's Corner, Chaney Cowboys, YSNLive.com, sponsored by the Baird Brothers. All right, Chris, let's dive into last week's game. I thought I saw a lot of good things from your football team. I thought you moved the football very well. Defensively, I thought you played pretty well other than a couple plays. Talk about some of the things maybe that the kids and you learned after that game going into this week.
For us, we learned a lot. The biggest thing we learned was we have the right pieces. We just got to find the right places to put them in, and that's – we're not having a scrimmage hurts. We were going to scrimmage Steubenville on the Wednesday the week before, which would have been ideal. You get a physical team, very well coached, and you can kind of see where you are. So we definitely, have those pieces, had to move some things around. And, when you don't have that scrimmage, you have to do it after week one. So, we did. We had times where we moved the ball, defensively was pretty solid. Besides a couple big plays, and we just got to take our opportunities of punching the ball in when we get them.
Yeah, the opportunity around the goal line before the half, I'm sure, was a big one. But here's what I was impressed with. The lightning delay comes. I thought you came out after the lightning delay, and that's not an easy thing to do when you're down like that. But I saw a lot of energy. I thought you did a lot of things well after the lightning delay, and getting that last touchdown was huge. The quarterback, he is flat out one of the toughest kids I've ever watched play. Talk about him a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Delshawn is a throwback of throwbacks. Just a old school, hard-nosed football player. He's going to leave it on the field. He's a two-way player. If he can play every special team, he would. He's going to play with Holland this week. He's going to be in a box and play as a linebacker or something. He's just one of them old school throwback players that's just going to leave it on the line, and he's going to be physical, and he's going to challenge players and get after it day in and day out.
With Coach Amill, Coach's Corner, sponsored by the Baird Brothers. All right, Coach, this is an old cliche, I know, but no scrimmages is very tough. We've talked a lot. Biggest progression is usually week 1 to week 2. Before we get into Holland, what are you looking for progression-wise in improvement?
Just getting back to the basics and the fundamentals. We got after this week in practice, made it real competitive and tough. So it was more good on good. It's hard when you're always going against, your teammates every single day, for 3 weeks. And now we're going on 5 weeks, 3 weeks of doubles and 2 weeks of the season. I mean, it's hard, but, we challenge guys. We move some guys around. We have a few different guys that are starting this week that didn't start last week, and guys that are starting in different positions. And like I said, I mean, we have the pieces, and it's just trying to find the right places to put them in. And I'll say it, every week, when I get interviewed, I feel I have the best staff in Ohio, and it is about making adjustments. It's going into week one, we felt we had this, and we still feel that we do. Now we just got to move people around to get them in the right place, and hopefully week two you see a different Chaney football team.
Well, that's one of the things I like about you. You always give credit to your staff, which is a very good one. Let me ask you this. How tough is that when you sit with a group to make tough decisions moving kids around? How did the kids react, I guess, and respond to it this week in practice?
They responded great, but the one thing I've told them, and some of these guys I've had since they were freshmen, I let them know when I was a defensive coordinator at Mooney, I benched my own son. So if I'm willing to bench my own son,
shame on you.
If I'm willing to bench son because, whether it's complacency or just lack of effort, like I'll bench anybody, and they know this. We made some changes last year after scrimmages, and so they knew it was coming. I had to talk with them on Thursday in the gym. We got back to the school and said there's going to be changes, and the guys that want it will come out here and take it and earn it, and the guys that don't, I mean, they'll fold and just sit on the side somewhere. And you've seen that with some seniors kind of sit on the side, and they just feel like they deserve it because they're a senior. So we have a couple freshmen starting this week. And at the end of the day, we're a relatively young team. We probably have 5 seniors that play, between both sides of the ball. I mean, we're a relatively young team. We have 3 freshmen playing. We have about 4 sophomores, few juniors. So we're a young team.
Well, that's a good wake-up call, too. With Coach Amill, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Baird Brothers, you'll play the Highland Tigers Friday night. Hey, here's what I noticed, and maybe I'd want to get your answer. Effort-wise, I thought was very good Thursday night at Stambaugh Stadium. I did not notice a whole lot of dropping of the heads, maybe some frustration at some times, but from an effort standpoint, I thought you were solid from the start of the game to the end of the game. And it was good to see the excitement in the kids on that touchdown pass. Does that touchdown pass, I'm sure, has carried over to a better week of practice and looking forward to the Highland Tigers?
Absolutely. I mean, it gives you something to build on, to be able to drive down the field and punch one in, before the game is over. You never want to get shut out. And it's not like we were going against a JV team that had a lot of starters out there. So the fact that they could see, like, this is what we could have done early, this is what we're capable of doing, and this is what we need to do and what we're going to do from here on out. I mean, it was big, for them to see it and feel it and just have that excitement and end the game on that note was huge.
Well, one more question, because I've watched a lot of film with you. I know a lot of the guys on your staff. For the Chaney fans, that had to be a pretty honest film session. And I know how you are, a very good learning session for the kids. And sometimes, I know we've talked about this every week I've talked to you, the eye in the sky does not lie, the film, and that's the best way for kids to learn. Sometimes I think high school kids get a bad rap because it's hard to learn in-game situations, let's be honest. And in this pandemic, it has to be really hard. How was that film session for all those kids? I'm sure it had to be a great learning one. And I know you've spiced it up quite a bit, but we don't have to go into all that.
Right. No, I mean, the film session overall was brutally honest. I mean, it was a tough film session. Some guys really needed to evaluate where they are, what they want, where they see themselves. Because like I said, going against our own guys or going against a scout team, everything looks good. And then you get out here and it was different. But yeah, for us, every moment is a teaching moment. It's hard because we don't have the facilities to be able to record practice for guys to watch and be able to correct mistakes. And, we try to correct some on the sideline during the game and just our guys, just learning how to watch film. They have huddle, they have access, and they go on and they watch film. But until they learn, and we've been trying to teach them, sitting down and going through stuff with them, they watch games as a fan, and it's like the oohs and ahs when you see moves and things like that, instead of watching tendencies and what they do when they run this play. So I mean, it was a tough film, but it was a great way to learn. I mean, they seen it all. They seen what we were talking about, because you get on them in a game and it's like, no, that's not what
Right.
happened.
Sure.
And he's like, oh, see, I thought you said, oh, you're right. So
Right.
just those learn those, it's just teaching moments. You can always find teaching moments and everything, and that's what film turns into for you guys.
Well, that's great to hear for Cowboy fans. That's why I wanted to get that in there before we get going. Let's put that one away, because I know this football team is very talented. I know the staff works very hard. Holland Tigers coming off a loss against Canfield, got shut out. So it's going to be two teams that are going to get after one another Friday night. Talk about that a little bit. Have you been able to do one game film exchange with Holland? Talk a little bit about the Holland Tigers for all the Chaney fans on Friday night.
Yeah, we were able to switch the Holland. We got their Canfield tape. They got our Ursuline film. And Holland's just, they're a throwback team. They remind me of the Coach Butchie days. They're going to be physical up front, and they run 5 plays, and they're going to be good at those 5 plays, and they're going to try to smash it down your face and just run it down your throat as much as they can. If you're not tough enough to stop it, you're going to be in trouble. But they're coming out with their tight ends, their fullback, and they're playing old school football. And if guys aren't ready, I mean, they're going to struggle. Watching the Canfield game, with some turnovers and things, and Canfield runs the ball, so it seems like the game only lasted about 12 minutes. So, they didn't have as many opportunities, but, they're just a tough team, physical team, and we just got to match that physicalness on both sides of the ball. Their D-line is physical, their O-line is physical, downhill runners, and we just got to match that physicality, play in and play out.
With Coach Amill, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Baird Brothers. Friday night, they'll travel to Holland for a good game. All right, Coach, I do it every week. I can give you the answers to what you're going to tell me, but the Chaney fans want to hear it again. Your key to getting victory number 1 Friday night.
First and foremost, we got to take care of the football.
All right, so when the kickoff comes, we're holding the ball, and we're going to hold on to it for that first possession, correct?
Absolutely. We got to be as physical or more than Holland will be up front. And at the end of the day, you just got to have fun. If we're not having fun, and this starts to seem like a job and work, you're just, you just don't enjoy yourself. Like, go have fun. You can have fun and punch people in the mouth. You can have fun and hold on to the ball. I mean, you can have fun and slam people around and everything else. I mean, you can have fun doing it, and that's what we got to do.
Well, let's have fun Friday night. Wish you the best, the staff and the boys. Let's get victory number 1 for the West Side with Coach Amill, Coach's Corner, sponsored by Baird. Good luck to you. Let everybody know the West Side is behind you. We'll talk again next week. Go Cowboys and go get that first W.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, Coach.